Body time. So, as we're approaching working on the body, I'm going to introduce what we're going to do. So, basically we're going to reshape the heel of the neck pocket, just because the angle is not really flat and the neck won't stay in place, the action will be really high and it won't be comfortable to play, so we have to work on this. And because we're working on the neck pocket, we're going also to reshape this sharp, we're going to make it smoother, we're going to make it much more comfortable when playing solos, when playing on the high notes, and definitely will be better. And we're going to do a partial shield on the pickup pocket, and here, to avoid noises and string things, we're going to buy like a copper shield and try to put inside. And then we're going to do custom wiring. The biggest, really biggest work is to wind the pickup. So let's start. So, why changing the pick guard? The main difference between the Telecaster and the much less known Esquire is that this Esquire doesn't have no pickup and it has a different switching system. So we initially thought that we could use the original pick guard from this guitar, but as you can see, it has an hole that we don't need, and actually it would look really awful if we just put the pick guard with the hole. So because we thought about buying a new pick guard without the hole, but because we decided to make stuff cool and to give this guitar an identity, we looked for an internet and we found out something that is really nice. I'm talking about making a pick guard out of vinyl disc. We're not the first one doing that, we will not be the least one, but we think it's cool. So we draw out a template out of the original pick guard, and we decide the position of the center of the disc, and here we find the disc with the picture that we're going to use. I'm not really usually keen in destroying old music, even if it's quite unknown, because I mean, music is art, music is the expression of someone, and it's quite sad to just ruin it to make an object, but this is very ruined. This disc is unlistenable, so we had two choices: use it as a pick guard and make it live on a guitar, or trash it. So this is the best way to do it. The pickup will be the really most challenging part, actually. We decided to wind the pickup ourselves, just because the guitar has an identity, as I mentioned before, it has a character. I think that basically just using a stock pickup, it would affect the sound basically as every guitar that has that stock pickup. So we decided to wind one, even because it's going to be unique, because we're basically not really expert in winding pickup, so if it goes well, I think that we probably won't be able to do it again. So it's kind of a unique pickup. So we base, after a long time researching on a lot of websites, we found a model that we're going to take as a reference, just because it's more versatile, has higher output that for a guitar that has just one pickup, and in particular one single coil. We need versatility to make it possible for the guitar to play in every situation, more or less. So we enter the Seymour Duncan website, we find the Quarton Palm bridge. It actually has wider magnets and is really overwound, so it has higher output, and we're trying to reproduce it. So because we have to calculate how many winds we have to do, let's do some maths. To find the total number of the coils that we need, we are going to divide the total length of the wire per the length of the average coil. The average coil can be found easily measuring the smallest coil that we can obtain and the largest one that's possible, and dividing the sum per 2. While the average coil is due to a measure, we can obtain the total length using the second Ohm law. The second Ohm law tells us that the total resistance equals the resistivity per the length on the section. And if we invert the formula, we obtain that the total length equals the total resistance per the section on the resistivity. We're going to use AWG42 wire, that stands for American Wire Gauge. It means that we can easily find the measure of the diameter online, and this will allow us to calculate the surface easily with this formula. The resistivity instead is something peculiar of the material. In this case, the material is copper. Knowing the surface and knowing the resistivity, we're basically going to calculate them separately, not to get confusion on the chart, and indicate them as K. We know the total resistance thanks to the Seymour Duncan website, that should be 17,000 ohms, often indicated with 17K. Doing the calculation, we have 17 kilo ohms times K, that end up being 3,179 meters. It's far too much rather than we need. I don't think it's gonna fit. But let's do the calculation. We have 3,179 meters on 0.151. That is the length of the average coil. We end up having 21,052 coils. That is far too much. It's basically not really going to fit the pickup. So we're going to do as we always do. We're going to improvise and basically fill the pickup until it's full. And once we decide that the pickup is fine, we're basically just going to stop, finish the solderings, and then with the tester measuring what is our total resistance of the pickup. So in this case, the sound will be unpredictable.
貴様の拳などかほどにも効かんわい。お前はもう死んでいる。何？もうは匠でギゼブ。
Everything in the video looks nice and relaxed, but in reality it wasn't at all. The machine needed several modifications that we did outside the camera. Them included ball bearings holding the rolling shaft for the spool of thread, and a panic button in order to stop the machine entirely at the first sight of something going wrong. It may sound like a stupid modification, but actually was really useful, especially because it prevented me, after 4-hour wiring and a wire broken, looking like this.
We're done after 3 full days in wiring. Wiring the pickup. We're finally done. So what we're going to do now is to finally assemble it. Black and white wire. We're going to make this have a bath in wax. Soft wax, hard wax. And after all, we're going to protect it with a little bit of cloth just around the coil, and we can proceed and do something else. Okay, so let's go. And it's quite strange actually for me to cut the wire, because the wire broke several times, and it's always a pain, because when the when the wire breaks, you basically had to uncoil everything and start from the beginning, and when you have done like 6,000 coils, it's quite heavy to do so. So we prepared the wire. Let's grab the solder. I'm not personally, but generally we are not expert in soldering actually, so the first one is the good one. Let's hope that everything goes fine and there's no problem, because we had just one attempt, but I think that we can make it. So
to fit into this world, might be too large a snow. So to study who go rivers through, who fly sides very low, who got his feet on.
okay, so now it should be ready. We brought a tester here, so let's try to measure final resistance. Okay, our primary objective was 17k. I think that we will never reach 17k. So let's connect around and the hot wire. It says 8.15 more or less. So we were quite far from our intent, but it doesn't necessarily mean a bad sound, it's just something unpredictable. So let's see it done with the wiring. Now we're making a back for the pickup to avoid unwanted feedback and strange noises coming out from that. So we're taking the mixture of different waxes. We're melting it. We should melt it at like 70 degrees, but we don't actually have a thermometer, so we're going to make it by eye, because we're not done improvising stuff. This is my grandma kitchen. Say hi. So let's wait until the wax has melted to place the pickup inside. Oh. Sorry, I forgot. We're going to heat the pickup. So the fact that we're going to put the pickup inside the hot wax is not going to demagnetize basically the coils and the magnets. So now we're ready. So as you can see, this is grandma gear. Robusta house rules. This is the wax mixture. It has completely melted and